the tradition that Gainesville has.
It's a family, it's a kingdom. That's why we call it the Red Kingdom. My name's Josh Niblett. I'm the head football coach at Gainesville High School. You know, I decided I knew I wanted to be a coach. There was no doubt. I didn't grow up saying, hey, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a football coach. And that was just a passion of mine. And so, you know, when I got that opportunity, you know, I started out in college. I coached at Jacksonville State University for 3 years. And then some conditions presented themselves to where, as a staff, we were going to have to find new work. And so I was at a crossroads, and I didn't know what God wanted me to do, because it had always been a ministry for me. And so God blessed me with an opportunity to become a head high school football coach. And here we are 25 years later, I'm still doing the same thing. Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is, you know, it's just like players. They want to know how much you care before they care how much you know. And so for me, it was important for me to live in the city limits. It's important for me to, you know, eat at Long Street Cafe on Saturday mornings. It's important for me to go to the grocery store here in town. It's important for me to have shared experiences with everybody in our community, to get out and speak to our, you know, Civitan clubs, to get out and speak to different organizations, to preach in churches, and to have an opportunity for people to get to know me and what I stand for, but also let me get to know them and what they stand for. This community is unbelievable, unbelievably supportive of not only just our school, but just everybody. It's a family, it's a kingdom. That's why we call it the Red Kingdom. Supportive of our athletic programs. They love sports, they're competitors too. And so, you know, we're trying to give back to them that energy that we've needed. And you'll see it on Friday night. I mean, the atmosphere here is the best in Georgia.
My name is Adam Lindsay. I'm the Director of Athletics for Gainesville City Schools. Our number one goal is we want to provide all of our student athletes a Division I experience in high school. And it's been a long process to kind of get to where we're at today. You know, this is my 6th year, so there's been a lot of planning to get us to where we go. And we know it's about the people first and foremost, and the relationships that our coaches build with our kids and our community. It's about the facilities, which is, you know, right now we're second to none, and it's been a long process. And it's about, you know, the community pride that Gainesville has, and it's one of the things that draws people to Gainesville. And, you know, being a small town, but you still get that feel of a Friday night where everything shuts down. And it's not just for football. They support all of our athletics, whether it's basketball, baseball, our cross-country program. All of our programs you know, have the opportunity and the resources to be as successful as anyone in the state.
You know, when I got here, looked in these kids' eyes and knew that they needed a leader, and they needed somebody they could trust, somebody's going to make a difference in their life. And I think that was the biggest thing for me. And I made the transition. And, you know, I think this community's probably been bigger for me than I have been for it, and my family, and we love being here.
The whole culture among the team is much different. They have the we fence and the we over me, which has really changed these kids', I guess, lenses on what they're focused on for this sport. It's just more of like I said, it's just a massive team effort. It takes every single person to show up every day and be present and be involved. And these coaches have done a wonderful job motivating these kids to do that and to act in a selfless manner for their teammates.
Well, with this new wonderful Student Activity Center, athletics has grown quite extensively. The facilities are great. We have 2 training rooms in this building alone. We have another facility over in the alumni gym. But I think having this experience for the athletes has allowed them to truly enjoy their sport. Coming from working out of the trailers last year to actually having locker rooms and running water and plumbing. It's been a big shift. So I think a lot of the athletes are a little bit more encouraged to actually put in the work, put in the time.
Well, I think our facilities are second to none. I mean, one thing when I brought in here, I told our people that, our one belief is best is the standard. And so we got to understand what best is. And so what is that? It's not just because it looks better than somebody else. It's not that it costs more than somebody else. It's how is it best to where it allows us to be the best at what we're doing? Because we're chasing best here. We're not chasing winning. We're not running from losing. We're chasing best. That's what we're trying to do every day, give a better version of ourselves, be 1% better. So what are we doing from a facility standpoint that gives our kids the resources and the opportunities to be the best? And I think by what you've seen around here, that's what we've done, but also too much is given, much is required. And so for our kids to show up every day, there's a sense of urgency, there's a sense of ownership, sense of responsibility that, hey, yeah, we got the greatest facilities and we got the best facilities, so we need to give our best effort, put our best foot forward. So we've got everything. I mean, it's, from a player's lounge to a team meeting room to, our coaches' offices, an unbelievable locker room to state-of-the-art weight room. We've got an indoor pavilion, turf practice field outdoor with a 8-lane track that goes around it. So, the things that are here are what's going to allow us to continue to take this thing to a whole nother level.
Well, as I mentioned, our goal as an athletic department is to provide our student athletes with a Division I experience in high school. So that does happen. We are able to give them the experience that prepares them for the next level. And the biggest compliment I get is when a college coach comes in, walks through our facilities, and they say, "Dadgum, Coach, I'm not sure I can recruit your kids. Your facilities are nicer than ours," which is a huge compliment to what we're doing. But our kids get the experience of having the best facilities, and learning to take pride in things and how they handle themselves, from how they take care of the building, how they carry themselves in practice, obviously what they're doing in the classroom. And then one of the biggest things I think we're able to do that a lot of people don't is we provide nutrition and meals for our kids. So all of our kids are in weight training every day, and we're able to do protein shakes and protein bars to rebuild the nutrition that they've lost during their workout. And then we do dinner every night for our kids. So it's just a huge thing to make sure that our kids are receiving all the nutrition that they need to perform at the highest level. And that's just a part of that. To me, is one of the biggest things that is a Division I experience in high school.
Working with the Gainesville high school football team, it's been a great experience so far. I would say, it's elite high school football. There's some phenomenal athletes, as you know, on the Gainesville football team, and certainly to be a part of that and be around those players brings a lot of energy, the coaching staff, and certainly being on the field, on the sidelines on Friday nights, I think it's a special atmosphere to be a part of.
The community is amazing. I have never, in my time of being an athletic trainer, I've never seen a community quite like Gainesville's.
Definitely Coach Niblett and his discipline. I think there was a lack of discipline. The kids kind of just did whatever they wanted to. I think he's really brought more structure to the football program alone, and it's starting to transition over into other sports as well. You have basketball teams that are starting to practice in the mornings. A few lacrosse teams have mentioned practicing in the morning as well. So I think his structure and his process that he's really harped on is starting to show, and it's starting to spread.
I think you got to give the credit to the players and the coaching staff. I think Coach Niblett's done a phenomenal job, and he certainly has those guys on point every Friday night, ready to play and play hard. There's just a good energy on the sideline, and I don't think there's ever a sense of those players feeling like they're going to lose the game. They feel like they're in control of the game all the time, and I think you just feel that on the sidelines, that they're going to find a way to win at the end of the day. I think the sky's the limit for them.
It's more than just Gainesville high school football. That it's about a community that we want to continue to shed light on. We want to continue to make people's week. We want to give them some kind of hope if they don't have any, energy if they don't have any, happiness if they don't have any, that the cause is greater than the condition, that we're not going to let circumstances dictate what we do around here. We're going to make a choice every day, because there's a choice to be made in everything you do. Just remember, the choice you make makes you.
I want people to know that, we're athletics and football is obviously what we hear about, but we're here about people. Especially when you talk to Josh, he doesn't talk a whole lot about football. He wants to talk about the young man that we're going to build. And if we do things the right way with building the man, the rest of the things are going to take care of itself. We want to build a young man, we want to build a student, we want to build a person, then we'll talk about football later. And that's kind of the mentality that we're trying to take with all of our programs, and really try to just build great people, surround them with people that love them, provide them all the resources that they need to be successful, and then let them do what we've taught them to do.
We talked to our players about a standard, and we want to give every people a reason to be successful, not every excuse not to be successful. And I think that's the thing about Gainesville high school football, is it's more than just us. I mean, I don't think you understand, like when I got here 9 to 10 months ago, and then come on Friday night and see what that place looks like. And when people walk up to me after the game and say thank you, and they were class of 72, 73, and say there's never been this many people in the bleachers. You know, that's something, and that's just a regular season game. And so there's something about bringing energy back to people. And I tell our players that's our responsibility. Like whether you want it or not, that's your responsibility. We're not trying to entertain them, we're trying to impact them. So how we go about our business and doing it the right way, making good choices, and that we're going to hold our kids accountable to do that, because we're trying to build better fathers, we're trying to build better husbands. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. And we're going to do things the right way around here, but we're going to make sure that it impacts more than just us.